Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you two of the new Chanel. These are the oversized illuminating face powders. I picked up Pearly White with the chains design, and I also got Precious Coral, and this one has the two C's on it intertwined. It is really beautiful. Now, I had a look at different highlighters that I have in my collection, and I am going to swatch a few for you, but the main ones that I have are more geared towards white or ivory color, and I only really have like one other coral colored highlighter in my collection, so that's why I wanted to pick up this one. This is such a beautiful color, and when I put it on my Instagram post and also on, I did a short of them as well, there was quite a lot of interest in them, specifically in the Precious Coral, and it is really lovely. So with this collection there are the three different shades, the Pearly White, Precious Coral, and there's also gold, and there are 5 different designs, so there are 15 in total, which is a lot. Now, even though that these are oversized and they are really big, there is 14 grams of product in here, so it is a lot. But I just wanted to let you know that last year when they received, was it for holiday? I think it was. They released the oversized illuminating face powder, and there were 2 different sort of shades of the gold, and I picked up the one in all rose. Now, this one, this has 16 grams of product. Now, this is a really lovely, I used it as a highlighter, and it is really lovely, but it's not really a shade I reach for that much. That's why I didn't pick up the gold out of this collection. So with this one, there was 16 grams, and with the new one, there is 14 grams. In either event, I'm never going to get through one of these oversized powders, whether it's 16 grams or 14 grams. But it will be interesting once they're released in the US, whether they are the same price as they put on the 16 gram one that was released last year. And these powders are made in Italy, and they have a shelf life of 18 months from date of opening. So on the front they have the black and the white with the Chanel logo, as opposed to the one that was released last year, which has the gold Chanel logo on the front. And this one has the same type of opening as the one released last year. Just press inside, and it has a generous size mirror inside as well. So first of all, I'm going to show you the Pearly White. That's the one with the chains design on it, and the camera's having a little bit of trouble focusing on it, probably because it is so bright. So probably what I'll do is turn the lights down first and then hold it up. So here is the Pearly White, and it has that really lovely chains embossing as well. I think it does look really gorgeous. And next is Precious Coral. So you've got the intertwined C's on there with the pearl design. This is a really beautiful shade. Now, I have tried both of these illuminating powders. I did that yesterday. I think both are really lovely, but each have a different formula, and it's quite interesting. So first of all, I'm going to swatch the Pearly White, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on my finger, but it is very sparkly, this one. It looks like it's glittery, but it doesn't feel like glitter. It feels, you can feel a tiny bit in there, but it does feel quite smooth. So I'm going to swatch this one. I'm going to swatch this one on the back of my hand first, and then I'll swatch it on my arm when I compare it to some other highlighters that I have in my collection. So here is the Pearly White, and you can see it is very sparkly. It is a really gorgeous shade though, and I've just swatched next to it. This is the Precious Coral. So you can see the Precious Coral definitely has that highlight and a sheen, but it doesn't look as sparkly as the Pearly White, but both apply really beautifully. So first of all, I'm going to swatch my arm the Pearly White and do some comparisons. And I will go over it again just to show you. This is definitely enough, just like this, for me using it on my face. So that's with one swatch, and then I've just picked up a little bit more and I'll go over it again. And next I'm going to swatch, and this is from Chanel, the Ivory Gold. This is in their Permanent Collection. So that is the Ivory Gold. So you can see that's a lot warmer than Pearly White, which is very cool. And next I'm going to swatch the very beautiful, this is the Rev de Camellia. And then I pulled out of my collection, this is technically a blush, but it was from the Comet series, and this is the Peach Cosmic, and I really used this as a highlighter, so I'm going to swatch this one as well. So you can see, because it's a blush, doesn't really have it has a sheen, but not much of a sparkle like the other Illuminators. Next is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Pillow Talk highlighters. Now in this, there's really only the shade right on the end there that could be similar to Pearly White. So I'm just going to swatch this one. And next I have the Hourglass. This is really a face powder. It is ethereal light, but I just thought if you have this in your collection, I'll swatch this so you can see them side by side. And then next I've got the Chantecaille. This is the Pearl Lumiere. This was a limited edition a couple of holidays ago. So this one definitely has a lot more pink in it, the Chantecaille, compared to the new Chanel Oversized one. And then next I've got the Hermes. This is in 01, and this is mainly rose, but right in the middle here is the lightest colour, so I'm just going to swatch the lightest colour here. And then finally I've got a Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. This is the one in Moonlight, and I'm just going to swatch the top shade here. So I'll just quickly go over them again. This is the Chanel Oversized in Pearly White. Next we have the Chanel, this is an Ivory Gold. This is the Permanent Collection one. Next is the Rev Camellia, and this was the limited edition. Next is from the Blush Comet, and this is Peach Cosmic, and this was technically a blush. This one is the Charlotte Tilbury. Then we've got Hourglass in Ethereal Light. This is the Chantecaille in Pearl Lumiere. Then this is the new Hermes highlighter, the one in 01 Rose. And finally Tom Ford, and that's in Moonlight, just the top shade. So next I'll swatch on my arm the new Oversized Illuminator, the one in Precious Coral. So this is Precious Coral. This is such a beautiful shade. And really the only comparison that I've got for this is a Tom Ford one again, a shade in Illuminate. And this is in Peach Light. And what I'm going to do is just swatch the bottom shade down here. So this is the Tom Ford one. So the Tom Ford is a lot darker than this one here. This is definitely more of a very light coral peachy colour. So they are completely different shades. So I'm going to use both of these really gorgeous illuminators today. First of all, I am going to start with the Pearly White. And I've already got some eyeshadow on. I just put on a brown eyeshadow, and it is from one of the new Bysance quads. And this is the brown shade from Venetian. So I just popped on the brown shade from Venetian. Now I did an initial video showing all of these 4 quads, just swatching them all, and then I did put on the eyeshadow Cristal from that collection. So I'll put the link up here if you want to take a look at that, and I'm going to be doing videos on the other 3 very soon. So for the Pearly White, I'm going to put this over the top of my lid because this goes very beautiful on the eyes. I'm also going to use it on my cheeks as well, but first of all then I'll swap to the Precious Corals and use that all over as a blush. and then just on the cheekbones I'll pop this on as well. But first of all, just going to pop this one on my eyes. So for the brush, yesterday I used the Chukuhodo one, the smaller brush that I have, and that went on really well. I think today I'm going to try the Sonia G one, and this is the Builder 3. So it picks up really well. So it acts really like a topper shade using it on your eyes. So like with other topper shades, I just go in fairly carefully. I might just tap a little bit off, because if I hold this up, you can see around here you have the little bits of sparkle there, and I'm just going to tap this over the lid. Now when I wore this yesterday, I put it on probably in the early afternoon, and I took my makeup off. It was probably about 10 o'clock, so I wore this well past the 8 hours, and you could still see the highlight. I thought it was really beautiful. So that's with using the brush, and I think it looks really gorgeous. It doesn't feel gritty or anything like that. It is a very lovely formula, even though it is different to the Precious Corals one. Now I'm going to use my finger and go over the top just to show you how much more payoff you can get. So I'm just going to go again very carefully, just through there. And you definitely get more of a beam of light, but I think it looks really, really gorgeous. So I'm just going to tap it through there, and I just think it looks really pretty. I could also put this on the inner corner and through here. Now there is, when you use it, I'm just having a look, a little bit of fallout, a few sparkles through here. So to avoid that altogether, probably on your eyes, or at least in the inner corner and below here, is to wet your brush either with water or a setting spray. So I've just wet down with setting spray the rephr number 3, and I could go back into here, and I'm just going to put some in the inner corner and through here as well. So putting on this way with the brush just wet down with setting spray, you do not get any fallout. The little sparkles that I've got just here and here, that was from the initial application. So I've just popped on some eyeliner and mascara. Everything that I'm putting on my face today will be listed and linked below. Now when it comes to these highlighters and also the brown shadow that I used, they're not available in many countries, but when they become available, I will add those links as well. So now let's try out this really gorgeous, the Precious Coral. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. So you say I used this brush here. So I'm going to use this brush on my left cheek. I'm going to use this all over as a blush. I think it looks really beautiful like that. And then on the other cheek, I'm going to use Undyed Goat Hair one. I'm going to use the rephr number 24. I think I'm probably going to get more payoff with the rephr 24. But first we'll try with this brush here. This is natural hair. So I'm just going to swirl it in there. This is beautiful. Now when I tried this out yesterday, this is the brush that I used, and you can keep going back in and building it up. But as a blush, I think it is gorgeous, really beautiful. You can see that it definitely has that highlight there or that illumination, but I don't feel that it emphasizes the texture on my cheek area through here. I just think it looks really beautiful. Now this also blends beautifully as well. So now I'm going to take the rephr number 24, and I'll go in a little bit easy with this. Probably pick up a bit more product than the other brush to begin with, and just going to tap that on. So when it comes, I thought this might, because this is more dense, you might get more payoff, but I don't really see much of a difference. But this is such a beautiful shade. So you can definitely see the difference in the formulas between the highlighter, the one in Pearly White that I put on my eyes in the inner corner, and this one here. This still has really beautiful illumination, but the Pearly White definitely has more of a sparkle in it. Now I'm going to be really glowing, so now I'm going to go back to the Pearly White. I'm just going to take a Sonia G brush. This is very soft, very fluffy brush. I used this yesterday and got quite a bit of payoff. So I'm just going to put it through here, just on my cheekbones. Hopefully it'll show enough for you to be able to see it. So just like that. It definitely has, I wonder if I can just, I can even use just the one dip into the pan doing both cheeks. Now I do have the brushes like the Sonia G Smooth Buffer, but I found that this actually, it buffed out really beautifully just using this brush. I didn't really have to go to the Sonia G Smooth Buffer. So you definitely get a highlight. It has a definite sparkle in it, the highlighter. So if that's what you like, then you are going to really love this formula. I think it blends really beautifully. In the future, if I was going to put it on my cheekbones again, I would probably even go to something like rephr 16, a smaller, fluffier brush, just so I had a little bit more control over it and put it in a smaller area. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It looks really beautiful. I'm really glowing now, but you can really see the difference in the formulas. I think both are really beautiful. Now I also think that the Precious Coral would look beautiful on the eyes as well, because it just has that beautiful illumination. It would lighten up. You wouldn't really get a sparkle, so you would get, apart from the shades, you would also get a different look because of the finishes as well. So here is the finished look. So I'll just close my eyes so you can see the Pearly White on my eyelids. And we'll take a look at these really gorgeous illuminators on the cheeks. I do feel like I'm really glowing on the cheeks. It does look really pretty though. So what do I think of these oversized illuminating face powders? I think they are really beautiful. Now it does say face powder. They are, one's more an illuminating one is definitely more of a sparkle. So the Precious Coral would be more of the illuminating face powder. It's not really one that I would put all over my face, but apart from using it all over as a blush, I do think it would go really beautiful on the eyes as well. It's interesting that the two different oversized illuminators have these different formulas. I think that the Pearly White is beautiful and I like it on my eyes really because I'm not a huge highlight person, and like I said, I would use a smaller brush, something like the rephr, like I think it was the number 16 brush, just so I had a little bit more control and just went over a smaller area. But I did want to show you today just what it looked like on the cheeks. I think the formula of them both are really lovely. The Pearly White blends out beautifully. I didn't have to, as I was saying, use the Sonia G Smooth Buffer to get it to buff out. I was able to stay with the same brush, this one here, and this one is very soft, and I was still able to just buff it out and just make it a little bit more sheer. But I think that the overall effect is really gorgeous. So I'm really pleased that I picked these up. I really initially picked them up for the designs. I do collect quite a lot of Chanel makeup and I did want them for the designs. The coral was a lot prettier in person than I thought it was going to be. And I am thrilled with that one because, as I showed you in my swatches, really the only other one that I had was the Tom Ford. And they aren't similar at all. So for me, this is a new highlight slash blush shade for me to have in my collection. I think it is really lovely. So overall, I am really pleased with them. They are a lot better than I thought I was going to be. They're definitely two shades that I will reach for more than that one in Christmas last year that was more gold. So a cooler shade like the Pearly White and this really soft coral color, they are definitely shades that I would reach for more with my everyday makeup. Now with my everyday makeup, with the Pearly White, would I wear this on my cheekbones? Probably not. I'd probably wear it more in the evening, but I would wear it on my eyelids. I think it acts like a topper and it gives this just ethereal sparkle to the eyes, and I think it is really lovely. The other thing is, do you need these highlighters? Well, if you haven't got a highlighter illuminating powder in that coral color like me, then I think you will definitely want to pick these up. Now being oversized, I'm never going to use all these up. I do like it that they are oversized. They do feel very luxurious in the hand, and it is interesting, as I said at the very beginning of the video, that these ones have 14 grams of product, whereas the one from last year had 16 grams of product. So it'll be interesting to see when it's released in the US whether they are the same price, but you're getting less product with this one. But like I was saying, in any event, on the gram size, they are huge powders, so I think it would be a real struggle to hit pan on those type of oversized products. But really thrilled with the two that I picked up. I think they look really gorgeous. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.